Hi, this is Jim Gaffney with AmeriFirst Home Mortgage. Hope you're well. Just wanted to give you a couple quick tips, about 4 tips today on how to prepare a home to sell, not so much from the decorating and cleaning and preparation perspective, but from a lending and title perspective. So a couple items you may not have thought of that do come up and do present delays for home closings. And we'll start with number one. Number one, inquire about whether your seller is in any type of forbearance or foreclosure or loss mitigation event on their home. It's not uncommon that we get to the final hour and we're waiting for what would be a very easy payoff request, and we find out that the home is in some type of default situation and that's going to take us a lot longer to receive. So please ask your sellers that they're paying their mortgage on time. That's extremely important. Number 2, find out who's responsible for signing on the deed or off of the deed. So what happens more than often is we have a estate sale or a trust of some sort or multiple names, beneficiaries on a title, and it's not uncommon that we have to chase those people down prior to closing, or maybe in some cases they're not even, maybe they're deceased. And the title company sometimes doesn't get to that until late in the game. So find that out before you sell a home, before you're putting a home on the market. Is the title transferable to another party? And connecting with your title company really early on in the process is going to be one of the number one things that you can do to handle that piece. Title searches. Not every title company is the same. Some title companies are extremely busy right now, understandable. They may not get to the title searches until further along in that process. So when you have a 30-day contract and the title company is not doing a title search until week number 2, maybe day number, 14, 15, 16, and that title search comes back with something on it, that can present a lot of problems. It can affect there's a reputational risk to everybody of just not being ready overall. So please check with your title company. Make sure that they're requesting their lien searches, their municipal lien searches, their mortgage searches early on to avoid any delays later on. And lastly, don't be afraid to have your title company or your buyer, or your seller. Again, this is for listing agents, but don't be afraid to have your listing agent request a payoff on their mortgage before you even put the home for sale. It's so important that the sellers know what they're expecting to net, what the sellers are expecting to pay off, so that they can understand what they're going to net from the sale. It also allows us to identify whether or not there's any delay in the payoff, like being in arrears, like having accumulated interest, like being in some type of loan modification. And it's just something that you should do, really, my recommendation, before you even put the house for sale. Most title companies know that a typical payoff is only going to take about maybe anywhere from an hour to a day is kind of the industry norm. So we just don't want to be in a position where we're not ordering the payoff until 3 days prior to closing to find out that there's some type of event or that the balance is higher than what was anticipated. So there you have it, 4 tips for listing agents on having a more fluent closing process and avoiding closing delays. Thanks, guys.